Hello, welcome to Dundrol's podcast. I'm your host Justin. For today's X-Men month for review, we're reviewing Uncanny X-Men Poptopia, written by Joe Casey with art by multiple artists. That's one of the problems of the book. You got Ian Churchill with Sean Phillips, Mel Rubi, Ashley Wood, Tom Raney, and Tom Derenick. I think they just put all the artists together, right? And this collects issues 394 through 399. Uncanny X-Men was obviously a long-running X-Men run. Here you can see the back here. This came out. This came out around the time of Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, and obviously the new X-Men run was kind of somewhat inspired by the movies. So they went for more of a uniform feel with the costumes instead of super colorful costumes, which the X-Men originally had, like, more of a uniform than superhero costumes. So the first issue is called Playing God, which this was a very, very cool issue. Great art by Ian Churchill. I think that's his name, right? So the comic book starts off with this mutant who's like a punk rocker type who is turning 18, and he's reading about Magneto's like first appearance, where I think it was issue 1 of the X-Men, where Magneto attacked a military base. So he gets the idea for his 18th birthday to party up and attack this military base. And his powers are he can teleport things into his subconscious, right? So here it starts off with, here you see Cyclops with Jean Grey. Cyclops is worrying about the mutants, mutant and like human hostilities, right? When they find out about Cape Citadel getting attacked by this mutant, which is the same place where Magneto attacked. And I really liked this the dialogue here, where you have like this this general shows up, and he's like they write him just like Arlie Ermy from like Full Metal Jacket, where he's like, "That was my tank, civilian. What is your major malfunction? You genetic defective. Uh, you genetic defective. I'll have you downsized, pulverized, and atomized." and he kisses him and teleports him, right? Yeah. So the Cyclops hears about this. He sends Wolverine and Jean Grey to handle it, right? They get sucked into the other world, right? And then after that, Cyclops, Archangel, which it's just Warren with like blue skin with his regular angel wings. So he's not really Archangel other than the blue skin, man. With Warren's pretty weak in this comic, right? So yeah, like Cyclops, Warren, and like Iceman show up. I really like this scene where like Cyclops is just sniping from a building. It's like, yeah, it shows that in the right circumstance, Wolverine's not the strongest fighter. In the right circumstances, like the other mutants can be helpful. Which I love the art here, right? So eventually, you got some really cool art. Eventually, they get teleported back to reality. But before that, they think they're about to die. So like Wolverine kisses Jean Grey. Keep in mind, Cyclops and Jean Grey are married at this time. Okay, so next that's the first issue, right? Next, you got the main story, which is about this pop star named Sugarcane from London, England, right? Who meets Chamber from Generation X, who's homeless, who's like an English mutant who's homeless, and he meets Sugar King. Sugar King. He helps save her from touchy, grabby fans, and then they kind of get this relationship going, right? And the main book is dealing with their relationship and how that affects, her career, and there's a lot of pop culture, rumor rag stuff here, right? Tabloid news, hence the cover, which looks great. While that's going on, Iceman, Nightcrawler, and Angel are investigating this underground mutant concave living in London, England, right? Where you have these mutant outcasts that are shunned from society. They're like the Morlocks, right, from New York, right? And they're not welcomed there because they think they're there to harm them. And you have Nightcrawler giving birth to a baby, right? Which was pretty cool. The baby's name is Hope, but I don't think it's related to Hope Summers, right? That's the mom there. They don't say who the dad is. Which they get driven off by Cyclops, who's the defender of the English Murloc, facility. While that's going on, eventually this guy called Mr. Clean, who's a genetically enhanced mercenary, who my memory sucks. I remember this being Bushwhacker. It's not Bushwhacker. He shows up and tries to kill all the mutants. Right? And he's pretty badass. He's a pretty cool villain, right? There's Mr. Clean. He was hired by some anti-mutant church, right, to kill all the mutants, right? Investing, living in London. So, the X-Men go to fight this guy. They get their ass kicked. Eventually, they decide to they call in Wolverine to help. So they changed artists twice halfway through the story, right? Which sucks. And the climax of this story, the art looks so fucking crappy. It ruined the book, honestly, right? So here you see Wolverine find Mr. Clean. Look how crappy the art is, right? Look at that shit. In one panel she looks like that, and then the next she looks like this. What the fuck is this? Right? So the last story, Warren is in a business meeting. He's rich. He finds out that his company is financing a brothel called the X Ranch, where rich people can go and have sex with mutants with special powers. They send Bobby Drake in, right? And the place gets attacked by this anti-mutant church, right? And they kill the mutant hookers, including some of the Johns, except for this snake lady. And she joins the X-Men, and that's the end of the story. So, what did I think about this graphic novel? One, for the first half of the book, it has great art. Fantastic art, man. It was beautiful. And then the second half, they changed artists twice, and which the guy who took over for Ian Churchill at first, his art was okay, but then for the climax of the Poptopia story, the art is fucking garbage looking. It looks awful, right? It looked awful. It was just so bad, right? And then there's obviously you have the and there's like anti-religious undertones with the last story, and then there's the fact that there's this like the villains of the book are just like anti mutant religious group who wants to wipe out and kill all the mutants, man. And for some reason they have access to like advanced technology. That was a little weird. But the fight, the earlier fight where you see the X-Men fight Mr. Clean, that was cool, right? And the whole relationship between Sugarcane and Chamber was also kind of cool as well. Though it was kind of like weird that people were okay with spoiler alert, people were okay with this pop star like dating and having sex with this mutant. But as soon as rumors started that she got pregnant, then that ruined her career. That was kind of retarded in my opinion. That was kind of dumb, right? But obviously that was like an allegory for like you know what, right? So yeah, overall I liked the book, but the art and the second half of the book is garbage. But I liked the story. Nice to see some of the lesser known mutants, and I kind of liked that you had this like kind of like B team, like weak X-Men team, and that they got their ass kicked, and they like, oh shit, we gotta call in Wolverine. Which for some reason they have no problem killing people in this book, like no, right? But then again, they were fighting this genocidal maniac, which for some reason in my my adult brain, I remembered being Bushwhacker. It's like I must have read a graphic novel around the same time that had the X-Men fighting Bushwhacker, because I remember that being Bushwhacker. We'll find out soon. I'm gonna review a lot of my old X-Men graphic novels. So if I were to give this a rating, since the first half of the book was good, I'm giving it 5.5 out of 10. If you can find it for cheap, check it out. But it's probably out of print since it's from 2001. So for our next review for X-Men Month, we're going to review the origin of Generation X Omnibus. It's called Tales of the Phalanx Covenant, which comes with 10 issues, right? But I have a bit of a lead, so hopefully I can finish this by either the weekend or Monday, right? Yeah. And maybe I'll check out and review the really crappy TV movie. Yeah. And that's Chamber right there, by the way. Which I'm a little confused about his powers. Apparently he has like bioblasts. I don't know. Like he has like tendrils of energy that he can control. I don't know. It's we'll figure it out. So that's it for this